Today's guest is a new friend of mine, Tabitha Crocker. Tabitha is a membership coach and founder of The Present Profitable Mom, and she's obsessed with a membership model because it empowers us to multiply our income, but not our work hours. She was able to transform her business to be more profitable with sustainable, reoccurring revenue while being a present mom and wants to help you do the same. She's also a podcaster with a BA in psychology and master's in business, raising her kiddos and her husband in the great state of Alaska. So y'all, listen in. You're in for a treat. Hi, love. This one's for you. I'm Jess, and this is the Effortless Expansion Podcast. This podcast is for women who are ready to do it differently. Women who are tired of being tired. Women who are ready to shift out of the old ways and rules that are still lingering from generations and generations of doing it a certain way. Together, we are going to expand your life in every way. Effortless expansion of yourself, your relationships, your health, your wealth. Write your own rules, your own way, for you. Here on this podcast, you will redefine the way you show up for yourself and your desires. You will create visions for this limitless life and what it gets to look like for yourself and your family. You will reshape the way you show up for your friendships, children, and your spouse every week. Together, we will reinvent how your limitless life looks and feels in less than 20 minutes. I'm so glad you've chosen to be here with me. You ready? Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to the Effortless Expansion Podcast. You got Jess here. And then I have Tabitha from The Present Profitable Mom, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear all about her goodness. So Tabitha, hello. Thank you for joining me here this morning.
Hi, Jess. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yes, my pleasure. My pleasure. Tabitha, would you take a minute and introduce yourself to us, please?
Yeah. So my name's Tabitha. I'm a membership coach, and I have a 5-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son. And my husband and I are raising our family up here in Alaska. And I absolutely love working with fellow mom entrepreneurs because I feel like we are such a unique breed. You know, being a mom is something you don't understand unless you experience it. And the same is true for being an entrepreneur, and really finding others who have that in common is such a gift. Like, we understand each other on a deeper level, and it is just so fun. And I also love helping mom entrepreneurs to be able to create a business that really serves them so that it empowers them to have a business that supports their lives instead of requiring them to sacrifice it, which is what I feel like a lot of people expect or assume you have to do. Like, if you're going to run a successful business, then you have to sacrifice time and joy in other areas of your life. And I really believe that with the membership model specifically, you can multiply your profit and income without multiplying your work hours.
I love that. And that's why I wanted to have you on to speak, because a huge pillar of and the foundation of my business is you get to have anything and everything you want. And so for me, and for a lot of my listeners, my audience is women, but certainly a lot of women that are listening here are also moms. And by having anything and everything you want, it also includes, for me, and I know it's a value that many share, is getting to be with my children and being present with my family at, over everything. And because I have the belief that I've instilled in all of you listeners as well, that you get to have anything and everything you want. Tabitha is a beautiful example of that. And she's also going to speak to us more about the topic today is 3 ways community helps you achieve your goals faster. And I also thrive in a community, especially as it relates to other moms, which again is your audience, Tabitha. So, I mean, no one can relate to you like another mom, right?
Yes.
Before we jumped on, we were talking about, I'm fighting a little congestion from my children, and so is Tabitha. Love the kids, love them, but the germs that come with them, at least from school, is like, oh, come on.
So relatable though. Like, we're all going through it pretty much constantly, it feels.
All the time. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay. So Tabitha, let's get right into it. Tell us, what does community mean to you?
For me, community, and I'll be totally honest here, I used to think community was like this kind of like fluffy, nice to have thing that was like, I mean, take it or leave it. Like, whatever. But community to me has become this foundation and this incredible resource in all areas of my life, really, like my personal life and my business. And it really has become the most powerful thing because when you have a little extra help and support when you need it, when you have people you love and people who love you that you can celebrate your wins with, and people who are positive and
Mm.
really help you see the good in life, sometimes even when you can't see it for yourself. Like we all struggle with that negativity in our mind and can slip into that path. And really, that self doubt is human nature. And so, when you
Yes.
have people who can help you either with the mindset or in a tangible way, like I'll just share, like community in my business and in memberships is really about having people who can support and encourage you on those tough days, especially as a mom, because we have tough days with kids, sick kids, tough days
Yes.
as an entrepreneur, failed
Mhm.
launches, or things that didn't go as you expected, or difficult clients, like really needing that support. And then even like on the personal side, like at the time of this recording, my dad just had surgery and I ended up having to fly out and see him in the hospital, like totally unexpected. And I had like 5 friends, which in my life, let me tell you, like I'm almost 38 and I've never had this many real friends in my life. And it's amazing. Like I had people, like one person, I was like, hey, can you pick up my daughter this day? And another person, like, hey, can you pick up my son on this day? And this like major orchestration that just would not have been possible without this community. And in my business, I sent an email to my list and I let people know. And I was able to schedule things ahead because of having this membership model. I didn't have to think twice, like, oh my gosh, like, can I go help my dad? I was like, I am going to help my
Going, yeah.
dad. Like, I'm going to be there. And so, so, so grateful that I've designed this business and
Mm.
designed this life where I have this community to support me in this thing that I hold so valuable, this relationship and family, because we all understand that. And I am there supporting other people in that also. And that's another thing that's amazing about community is this reciprocity. And that was
Mhm.
not why I got super into memberships, but I found out that it was such a gift. Like I learn so much from my community. And
Mm.
some days I'm like, how am I the one getting paid? Because like I'm learning so much from so many other people and I'm teaching and learning. And it's just this upward cycle, like that raising tide raises all
Mm.
ships.
Yes. Yes. All of that. So, so beautiful. So beautifully said. There was this point, this took me right back to like the early days of motherhood when I'm like, what am I doing?
Mm,
Nobody knows where I'm at. I'm really close with my family. But my mom is like, this little baby is not her responsibility. And she gets it, but she's also like, you know, 25 years older than me. So, and I remember feeling like, oh, what am I going to do? I need some friends.
mhm.
Like I need
Yes.
some real friends. And in my journey of expansion and really claiming who I am and fully stepping into myself and in my business, even there is this, you often hear this word, like it's lonely at the top, right? How many times
Mhm.
have you heard that?
Yeah.
And what I'm really realizing and what I desire to cultivate is deep, deep sacred sisterhood relationships, which means like,
Mhm.
I can call you and be like, this is happening. You can
Mhm.
walk me, and I have a coach and a mentor who do those things. But really, when you come together as a community of women, it's so, so, so powerful.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
powerful.
And that like just reminded me too. My mom was here when both of my kids were born, but I could not, she had forgotten everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. Like she was like there, like trying to help me. And she did like such a good job of like making sure I ate and everything. Cause I'd had a C-section. So like the pain meds, you had to eat to take the pain meds. And I had no appetite. And anyways, she was amazing in that regard. But just little things like my son struggled to breastfeed and
Mm.
she was just like, no help. Like she just couldn't remember these things.
The
But
thing is, yeah.
yes, I had these like amazing friends who were just helpful. And even in really practical ways, bringing over dinner. And one friend, I still remember, like, she made me protein banana muffins, which was
Mm.
amazing because I was like, okay, this is healthy. I need the protein for like
Yeah.
lactation. And it's just, yeah, I mean, family is incredible, but everyone has such different experiences and resources and strengths. And when you cultivate this wider community, you get the benefits of like all of these amazing things from these amazing people who just really fill in the gaps of the
Mhm.
things that maybe aren't your strengths. And
Yeah.
that's true, like even in business, but also personal life. Like I joke with some of my, dad friends that I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to fill in my kids' education around sports because like my husband's not a sports guy. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, it's just
Mm.
that it takes a village. It really,
It
really
does.
does. And when you step into that, and I think a big part of this is the mindset of allowing people to help you. Because
Yes.
yeah, I'm an Enneagram 2, so I love helping people. And I remember struggling with it at one point because I was like, why don't people want my help? And that was a big thing I had to learn. Like, I can't help everyone. Not everyone's going to want my help. I need to ask permission before I try to help someone. And then, even like the other side of that, learning to accept help, because while I love helping others, it was not as intuitive to accept
Mhm.
help, or being very like I have to help them more than they help me, and being more of like keeping track, but you can't, like, it's just has to be this free flow of, sometimes someone else is going to need help, but you know what, they're there when I need their help. and
Mhm.
and that reciprocity and cultivating that again, like in personal life and in business, like even there are clients who I will message and I'm like, hey, can you please tell me a little bit about your experience in the Membership Success Accelerator so that I can share what your experience was with other people. And they send it back like right away. And just having
Yes.
people who can help me when I reach out and ask. And then same thing, if they have a question, I'm always there to help them to the best of my ability. Or sometimes if I can, even someone will be like, I'm hosting my first live masterclass. I do what I can to be there, just to be
Yeah.
that. So there's someone there live for them so I can support them in whatever way they are needing support.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a great for community, that's for sure.
Mhm.
So tell us, what is the best way to cultivate community?
I think it is really just serving first and leading by example. And I think that we really set the tone, because I think we've all been in those groups where,
Mhm.
oh, I don't know, it's like braggy or one uppy or name droppy, or, trying to make themselves look good. And that doesn't feel as warm and inviting. And just if you can be authentic and stand in your power and your strengths and
Mhm.
share what it is that you have to share and serve people the best that you can, because then people also bring that to the table. Like, for example, like someone in my Membership Success Accelerator, she is like an expert around tech. And
Mm.
so, like, if someone else in the accelerator needs help around tech, like people, it just cultivates this helpful
Yes.
reciprocity, and people enjoy, you get the satisfaction and joy from helping others and then also receiving help. And
Mhm.
it's just is such a feel good environment where you're supported and you feel excited to support others. And so I think really leading by example with that service
Mhm.
is the first step.
Yeah, is the first. I totally get that. Serving, which is, let's just talk about the misconception that we've been sold about serving, right? Is you only serve, you only give just a little bit, right? Because then you want them like hungry for more. So, because you want them to actually buy something you have. When in reality, the truth, what I know to be true is if you serve with your whole heart, you give everything you need, you're going to get back, right? You're
Yes.
going to get sales, you're going to get whatever. And people are going to say, "Oh my goodness, if she gives all of this service in her free programs, in her podcast," right? That's why I'm a big
Mhm.
proponent of podcasts. Can you imagine when you come into my world and you pay for something, what you're going to get?
Mhm.
So, and always, when you're serving out of a pure heart, which you can feel that, we've all been served by someone who's serving you, at a fast food restaurant just because, they are there and they want to be there and they hate their job and all the things. When you're serving like that, people can feel that, versus when you're serving out of your pure, beautiful heart, people can also feel that. And that feels really, really, really good. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I
There's,
I
Go ahead.
I totally agree. And I think there are two schools of thought out there. Like I've definitely had coaches who preach one or the other. Like
Mhm.
it's one of those, like, you don't want to give away the farm. Like maybe you're not serving as in like hopping on like an hour coaching call one-on-one with someone like every week to help them when
Yeah,
you are not receiving. The exchange has to feel good.
good.
But at the
Definitely.
same time, like I'm not going to hold back because I'm like, oh, I'm going to give them too much. Like, in fact, if I give them play full out, give them everything that I can to help them in that moment or that exchange, and then they get even a small win, they're going to be like, oh, exactly like you said, like, okay, what she says works, her advice works, like she just helped me with this one little one-off thing. Like what if I bring my whole business to her? What if I
Mhm.
build my whole membership with her? Every single step I can get these wins and have massive success along the way and get there so much faster with her help.
Mhm.
And then I agree, I think that's going to bolster their confidence in you more than, oh, I know how to do that, but you have to join my program for me to show you. Like,
Yes.
okay, but how do I know like if that's really going to help me? Because you haven't helped
Yes.
me with anything yet.
Yeah. You know, the like one of the irrefutable laws of the universe, which I talk a lot about in my coaching spaces, is the law of compensation, which says directly, and the laws of the universe, you guys, are the laws of the universe. They're created, they're all available to all of us, right? The law of polarity, there's a hot, there's a cold, there's a high, there's a low, all the things. So when we operate in these laws, when we embody them, when we live our lives by them, the more magic happens, right? The more we manifest things quickly, the more things open up for us. But there's a law of compensation that says you will be paid in the order to which you serve. So, when you're serving at the highest levels from a pure heart, the universe takes care of you, right? The universe has your back.
Mhm.
You're going to be paid by that. Whereas if
Mhm.
you're serving, you're selling people cars that, where you shouldn't be selling, that aren't going to last very long, right? You're going to be paid. It's like, the law of karma, right?
Yeah.
But when you put good out, you get good back.
Yes. And I think it's also like really important to mention that it's not reciprocity in that like expecting, like I gave you this,
Yes.
now wait, I served and gave you all this, and so like why haven't you joined my coaching program? It's not
Yes.
in that demanding. It's really unattached to any sort of outcome with that specific
Hmm.
individual. Because, like you said, karma is really, the universe is the bigger picture. So
Hmm.
it could come back to you from someone else. And so
Yep.
you just have to do good with that unattached, no expectation,
Yes.
just give freely and know it's coming back to you in some way, shape, or form, probably tenfold if you're not focused on like, why didn't that
Hmm.
person join? I was so amazing in helping them with
Hmm.
this thing or whatever.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So Tabitha, would you mind giving us, if my listeners are wanting to start a community, i.e. me too, will you please give us one tip on how to get started?
I think the biggest tip is really to begin with the end in mind. Like
Mm.
I talk a lot about building a business that supports your life. And so you want to create something that is going to give massive value to your
Mm.
members and then also really honor your time, which is why I love the model, because you can definitely achieve that. But something that I notice with my clients, which I love, because they want their membership to be super valuable. That is like their
Mhm.
number one. Like, I want this to be so valuable. And I love that because that means they're in integrity. They're not just like,
Totally.
how can I sell more of this thing? They're like, I want
Right.
people to love this. I want it to be
Yes.
amazing. And I'm like, yes, me too. And that's why
Yes.
I teach in the way that I do. But in
Yes.
saying that, a lot of times they try to put too much in, and
Mm.
so it's like with that decision fatigue, if you put too much into your membership, people actually become overwhelmed. They're
Mm.
less likely to take action. They don't know what the direction is. They don't know what the milestones are. So just really, and then also you can overcommit your time. I mean, certainly you can
Yes.
commit like, I'm going to give you a template every day this month, or you know what I mean? So just
Yes.
really beginning with the end in mind so that you make sure that you are giving the value that your members need, but then also in a way that's going to fit your lifestyle and something that you enjoy. You don't want to commit to providing things in your membership that isn't work or a contribution that you enjoy contributing.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't light you up, right? That doesn't serve
Mhm.
you, right? In your greater purpose, your magic, your mission, your passion. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So would you please tell us what you have coming up in your world and then where we can find you?
Yes. So my membership success accelerator is my big signature membership, really. It's a 6-month program. It has 10 modules walking you through A to Z on how to build a membership. And it's a 6-month program, but you can launch, like you can pre-launch as fast as 10 days. I had one client who had 6 members in 10 days of joining the
Wow.
program,
That's
but
cool.
then it's more like a 90-day launch if you're like starting from scratch. But the reason it's 6 months is because I found personally, a lot of times you can get the content in 90 days and maybe take some action. But I mean, we're moms, so it's easy to fall out of sync with what
Sure.
your plan was. So it
Yeah.
gives the flexibility for life. And then you're not like off the wagon, like, oh my gosh, the coaching is gone and I didn't finish the program, like the content. But then also, I feel like, yes, you can launch in 90 days, but that is always when I found I needed the most help. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you had a
okay, so
question.
like what worked, what didn't, how can I do this different? And then I feel like a lot of coaches just like wash their hands. They're like, well, I gave you everything you need. Like you're on your own now. But I
Mhm.
really want to be there at that moment to help you because I want you to get results. My goal isn't to just like cram the content and coaching down your throat, whether you need it or not in the 90 days, if you're able to consume it. So I give that longer runway.
Mm,
And then, say you have a super successful launch, then we can still work on growing and scaling. That's the
mhm,
thing. There's always more you can do to grow and scale your membership. So
mhm.
yeah, that's the Membership Success Accelerator 6-month program. And then I also have my freebie, which is the Membership Success Roadmap. And that literally gives you like the 10 steps that I use in my accelerator for creating your membership. So you can get that for free. We'll put that in the show notes.
Okay, awesome. That sounds great. And then where can we find you, Tabitha?
Yes, awesome. I hang out on Instagram mostly, Present Profitable Mom. I also think about doing some TikToks sometime.
Okay, I
We'll see
love
if
it.
that happens. I'm like on the fence, but Present Profitable Mom there. Also on Facebook, but probably Instagram messaging is the best way to connect.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much. This was so wonderful. Thank you for teaching us all about community and really serving. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to check out your freebie and your accelerator because y'all, your girl's going to be launching a membership soon. I'm just waiting for it to land. I was telling Tabitha, I'm just like waiting for the download to come in. I've asked the universe for it and I'm just like here waiting. So be on the lookout for sure. And Tabitha, thank you so much for your time. And I've so enjoyed the conversation. And so you guys be sure to go and follow Tabitha on Instagram at Present Profitable Mom. And I will see you in the next episode.
Hey, if you love this podcast episode, can you please do me 2 quick favors? 1, take a screenshot of the podcast episode you're listening to right now, post it on your stories, and tag me at Effortlessly Jess. I'm going to be so thrilled to hear from you, and I will always repost it for my audience to see. 2nd, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, can you please leave me a 5-star review? These 2 little things take only a few minutes, but they mean so much to me. Not only does it make my day to connect with my soul sisters on the internet, but as a podcast host, these are 2 things you can do to help me get my message out to impact the women of the world. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to talk to you in next week's episode. To your effortless expansion always.